Namaskar, Jai
Namaskar,
Hind.
Jai Hind.
Welcome to my show, Valor and Wisdom. I'm your host. My name is Puneet Singh Mehra. And yes, again, today I'm here with an untold story of a part of an history. And for today, we have our special guest, Mr. Jay Chauhan, who is the author, a judge, and a lawyer. Hi, Mr. Chauhan. How are you?
Fine, Puneet. Pleasure to be with you
Yeah,
and look forward to today's session on the untold portion of the history.
sure. So today, I'm going to tell you about the warrior of India. He is one of the greatest warrior in India will ever have, and I think around the world. His name is Maharana Pratap Singh. Yes, Maharana Pratap Singh was the king of Mewar in Rajasthan in India. Maharana Pratap Singh, let me tell you some specification of Maharana Pratap Singh. Maharana Pratap Singh, he stood a magnificent height of 7 feet and 5 inches, which is around 226 centimeters. Whenever Maharana Pratap is going for the battlefield, he used to carry a weight of around 360 kilogram, which include a spear weighing around 80 kilogram, two swords weighing around 200 kilogram, and his armor was around 72 kilogram heavy. His own weight was more than 110 kilogram. So why I'm telling about this history part of India? Because on May 9 in 15th century, Maharana Pratap was born, which most of the Indians forgot this legendary warrior. Yes, he was born in the Mewar in the Rajasthan, and later he became the king of the Mewar. So let me tell you the story about the one-man army, Maharana Pratap against the Akbar and the entire Mughal Empire. So what happened when Akbar started conquering the states of Rajasthan? He conquered the Chittor palace where he executed many people, and one of his general, his name is Behlol Khan. Behlol Khan known for his cruelty and his wickedness. He destroyed many temples, he executed many people, and the next target is the Mewar. But that time, Mewar was ruled by the mountain man Maharana Pratap. Before I'm going to the battle, let me tell you two more specific part of Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap has two most faithful general, and not to forget, when we say Maharana Pratap, we have to always add his horse Chetak. Yes, Maharana Pratap has two general, Chetak and Ram Prasad, an elephant. And Chetak is just not an ordinary horse. He was one of the smartest, most obedient, and most loyal horse to Maharana Pratap. And one more thing about that horse is in the color of blue. Yes, he has some blue dots on the Chetak. I can tell you that in the entire history, Chetak was the only horse which has many poems written by the historians. So Chetak, the horse, and Ram Prasad, the elephant. An elephant was one of the most brave elephant the Maharana Pratap has. So what happened when Behlol Khan tried to invade to Mewar with his army, with his Mughal army? Maharana Pratap know about his cruelty of Behlol Khan. When he go against the war with Maharana Pratap, the entire ground has been shaken of the valor of Maharana Pratap and his bravery. What happened when they saw the Mughals were losing the battle? Behlol Khan used his strategy to attack Maharana Pratap from his behind. But as I told you, the Chetak, one of the most smartest horse, he know that Behlol Khan was coming from the behind to attack Maharana Pratap. and the Chetak move around in front of Bahlol Khan, and the Bahlol Khan was sent against the Maharana Pratap. When Maharana Pratap saw through it, he channelized his whole energy for massive stroke, and as soon as Bahlol Khan came nearby, he struck with his one blow of sword and chopped him down along with his horse in 2 pieces. Just imagine, Mr. Chauhan, the power of Maharana Pratap, just one stroke which creates a fear among the Mughal Empire. And this story is like a fire in the forest. It moves so badly that no one wants to go against the Maharana Pratap. Even the Akbar knew if we go against Maharana Pratap, it was his last day. So Akbar never tried to go against Maharana Pratap. So that's the first battle of Haldighati. Then what happened? When the second battle of Haldighati has been started, all the Mughal soldiers were always defeated by the Maharana Pratap. He was the only one. And minute after, all Mughal soldiers were lost to Maharana Pratap. Akbar now changed his strategy. He sent his envoys and diplomats to talk to Maharana Pratap to convert his religion and accept Akbar. But Maharana stood stand and he said, I'm not going to change my religion, and this Mewar is belong to Bharat, India. So what happened when the battle of Haldighati happened? The Chetak and his elephant Ram Prasad, which destroyed most of the Mughal army, they captured the Ram Prasad, the elephant. And when they captured the elephant, slowly what Akbar tried to do, he tries to gain the loyalty of the elephant, can fight for Akbar. But the Ram Prasad elephant, he never fight for Akbar. He didn't even eat for 18 days and drink water from the Mughal Empire. And after 18 days, he got martyred. Then the Akbar realized that if the elephant, the Ram Prasad elephant, is not going to bow down his head, how in the hell I can put Maharana Pratap bow down his hand in front of me? Now the Akbar knows that he cannot do war against the Maharana Pratap. So what happened one day? A rumor is spread around the Mughal Empire that Maharana Pratap wants to surrender. And Akbar was so happy. He thought, oh yes, now it's my chance that Maharana Pratap wants to surrender. But soon, the Akbar informed one of his diplomats, Prithviraj Rathore, that Maharana Pratap wants to surrender. In which Prithviraj Rathore sent a letter to Maharana Pratap. I quote, the mouth of Pratap has begun to say Baksha Rao. Has the sun start rising in the west as well? Should I keep my hand over my moustache, or should my body fall within my own hands? O divine, please tell me that now the lion is going to live among the jackals? In which Maharana Pratap got angry and fierce. He replied to the Prithviraj Rathore and Maharana Pratap. He said, Lord Shiva will always make my mouth call him Turk. The sun will rise in the east always. O Prithviraj Rathore, be happy. Put your hand on your moustache. Till Pratap stand on his feet, his sword will keep hovering over the heads of the invaders, and the lion never lives around the jackal. After the second battle of Haldighati, his own brother, Maharana Pratap's own brother, betrays Maharana Pratap, which his own horse saw what's going on in the war. He took away Maharana Pratap from that battle and keeping him as a safe. But around that one, the horse, the Chetak leg, was also cut during the battle. He jumped over the 28 feet gap between one place to other. That's the loyalty of a Chetak of a horse to Maharana Pratap, in which Maharana Pratap also tried. But Maharana Pratap never surrendered. He never gave up. He fight against the Akbar. And Akbar lost 80% of wealth to fight against the Maharana Pratap. Then later, he realized that Maharana Pratap is impossible to conquer and to capture. It was Akbar's dream to capture Maharana Pratap, but it's never successful. Maharana Pratap was one of the most undefeatable king, undefeatable warrior. He stood against. Mr. Chauhan, many people ask me what Maharana Pratap did. So to all my viewers, let me tell you what Maharana Pratap did. Because of the Maharana Pratap, he represents the Hindu struggle. Because of the Maharana Pratap, he represents the spirit. He represents the battles of Hindus of survival. He represents that he was completely beaten down, but he never gave up. He was completely tortured, he never gave up. He lived his kingdom, he lived his royalty, he lived his every single thing to fight for the motherland from the invader. Just imagine, Mr. Chauhan, he ate leaf to survive. That's the valor of Maharana Pratap. Now coming to the wisdom part. When there is one general of Akbar, he sent Abdur Rahim to fight against the Maharana Pratap. And Maharana Pratap general, he attacked on Abdur Rahim, which Abdur Rahim freed from the side and leave all her wives and women over there, in which Amar Singh captured the women and he represented in front of Maharana Pratap. And Maharana Pratap feel very guilty. He feel very embarrassed. And he said to Man Singh to send all the women with full respect to Mughal Empire back. And he never did for once. Every single woman of Mughal Empire, which the Mughals left their wives and women, he sent all the women with full of respect back to their empire. Mr. Chauhan, in Mughal time, the women always consider Maharana Pratap as a big brother. Whenever their men go fight against the Maharana Pratap, most of the women, they pray for the Maharana Pratap. That's the wisdom of Maharana Pratap. As these Mughal people, these Mughal soldiers, they literally torture people, rape women over that time. But as for the Rajput Hindu king, this was against his Dharma. And he never touched a single Mughal woman. That's why, sometimes I feel, Mr. Chauhan, because of that blessing, that Maharana Pratap was undefeatable. So what do you think about this history part of India, Mr. Chauhan?
I am fascinated by the story, and I'm delighted about the way you narrated the story as well. So let me just summarize actually. The valor of Maharana Pratap Singh was remarkable. It inspires me as well. It also tells me the story of what happened in the Hindu-Indian subcontinent, which was ruled roughly from 11th century to roughly 18th century by the Muslim period. The Muslims were Turks, and the Muslims were also Persians, Afghanis, and other people who came to India. So this story is in the middle of that particular part of the way the Indian Hindu people actually fought back for their identity and survival during this time. So it is absolutely delightful for me to understand, because my ancestry comes also from India and from the Hindu background. So it is inspiring to understand actually that what respect the Hindu people had for the women and children in the war. Because the history is replete with fighting and war actually. Just to go back to European history, that when the Russians came in 1945 from the east side to conquer Berlin against Hitler, they raped 2 million women, which part of the story has never been told to the world. When you read, so in different words, the history is written by the people who win the war. And that is the Allied people wrote the history of the Second World War, in which even Indian people played a very important part actually. There were 2.5 million Indian volunteers by the end of 1945 who actually supported the British cause against Germans. People have forgotten the story. The story of Pratap Singh is also forgotten actually, because Akbar in the Muslim period also basically wiped out the history of the Hindu people in India. So I think it's very important at this stage in the 21st century, we reflect on these incidents of what happened and why the Hindu culture was subdued actually for almost 1,000 years, 700 years by the Muslim period and 200 by the British period in India. So I think India is now reviving its spirit, and these stories will help the Hindu people to understand that their identity should now be recognized, because the culture of Hinduism basically is an accepting culture. An accepting culture allowed the people to essentially develop their minds, and the struggle in the Hindu period was to develop yourself within yourself rather than asserting yourself as Western culture does and Muslim culture does also externally. So the conquest in the Christian people and the Western people in the Muslim period was, who can you conquer? The Indian subcontinent created many religions actually, including Hinduism, including Buddhism, etc.
Sikhism, Jainism.
Yes, Jainism. So these religions were created and spread around in the Asian countries very much to try to show that peace is the method by which we can conquer the world actually. And so now that in the 21st century, we're all together in the Corona period trying to understand how to deal with the Corona situation, I think it's important for the people in the Indian subcontinent to realize that they have a very valuable contribution to make in the modern history, which is how to learn to conquer your mind rather than conquer other countries and other cultures for the purpose of benefiting yourself. So I think it's a fascinating story. I'm delighted to hear that. And I just want to tell you actually that I did a speech in India, in Mumbai, in the Indo-US association, in which I made this point. That 1,000 years later, India has to recognize its own history and understand that for India to survive and now move forwards in the new century, it is important that they have the defenses actually. In the past, the Himalayan mountains on the top, on the north side, the Khyber Pass on the west, and the shipping of the English people who came to India, all were ways in which these societies came to India and conquered India. And our mindset was subdued actually as our identity. Even today it is subdued in the news media, etc. It was important for India and the young people, especially of your age group, who will rule the next century, is to recognize that we have to be proud of our ancestry and our past and use it to make our contribution to the new world. That's my view on what you said today. So it was a pleasure talking to you.
To all my viewers who think they are fighting alone in this world, they need support, they need a motivation. Learn from your history. Know about the Maharana Pratap Singh, who stood against one-man army against the Akbar and the entire Mughal. He doesn't have an army. He make his army. You know, Mr. John, in 17th century, Napoleon Bonaparte said, I am a sheep which is led by a lion is the true leader. But in 15th century, Maharana Pratap proved it to the world that he make his army by the people who live in the jungle, the Bhil. He doesn't have a Rajput army. He make his own army by the people who are not warriors. So to all my people, especially the India, learn from your history. Know your history. The one of the most proudest history in the world. The warrior who stood against the entire empire. And whoever struggling, go and learn about the Maharana Pratap Singh. The one-man army which never surrender, which never gives up, which never bow down his head in front of the entire Mughal Empire and the Akbar. That's all I just want to say. And yes, Maharana Pratap Singh. And I can tell you one more thing. I'm also the part of descendant of the Maharana Pratap.
So congratulations. Your ancestry is good to know. And I can see that spirit of Maharana Pratap Singh with you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. John. Take care.
Namaskar. Okay, namaskar.
Jai Hind.
Yes, see you.